Oliex made his own luck today, and he made great and right on Jet, and he wins the opening round in Season 9 in D1 BP Racing with an Aston Martin.
And into these final corners and into the final corner now, braking nicely and collects the apex very nice, crosses the line and goes only second fastest, but it is so tight between the two, and as it stands, Olaf provisional pole. Steps, will he be able to beat his teammate? Crosses the line? No, stays where he is. Is it going to be pole for Olaf? He doesn't improve, so now it is all eyes and focus on Marco. He is 2/10 up on his lap, crosses it now, he goes on to provisional pole with a 20.518. The two Red Bulls are the final ones. Weber's 2.5 tenths up as well. Could he get into the 20s is the question. Mini Waffle is down on his time, he's invalidated, so it's only Weber to worry about for Marco to secure pole position. To the line, what can the Red Bull do? Goes up to third, gets into the 20s as Shaz has found himself in the gravel again. 2 tenths is the difference between Marco and Olaf.
Clearly, the objective of Ferrari is to win. You need to get results if you want to survive.
Coming in and taking over somebody else's team, which Fred has effectively done. That's been Mattia's team for quite a while. That's not an easy situation. The team, the car, and two incredibly competitive drivers from his predecessor.
My objective is to be world champion, and your teammate is one more of those who you want to beat.
I mean, I know that he's my teammate, but I also know that I want to beat him as much as he wants to beat me. Just want to win and beat everyone.
It won't be an easy season for me.
We're out of position, but we're just going to give it everything. And, try something different, you might get something different.
It's about the mentality during the race. Putting your head down, not overreacting. That gives you the opportunity to fight for wins.
I need to get results. And the most important today is for us to win.
Anyway, the final drivers parking up now.
You don't convert pole into the win. It is the biggest failure.
5 red lights here in Qatar round 2. It is lights out and away we go, and Olaf does get a great start over his teammate. Weber as well has got a decent start, but so is Spinala. As into turn 1, Olaf gets in front of his teammate Marco at the start, and now Weber's still in P3 lurking around the rear end of the Ferrari. There is Sam Newman who has had a spin in the background, and same with Cryplags, will paint up 5 positions. Mini Waffled is all over the rear of Steps here. Steps goes defensive, Mini Waffled around the outside. What can he do? They're still wheel to wheel here in this first set. Then Mini Waffled and Steps, or will Steps keep position? Steps defends amazingly, keeps his position of P6. Marco sets the fastest lap, but I think there's going to be another change of lead here. Olaf's actually gone down the inside. Marco doesn't fight it. In fact, he's going for the switch back. No, backs out of it. Doesn't want to fight his teammate too much. But Marco and Olaf are still working together here, as they've traded DRS every single lap so far. Once again, Marco and Olaf have traded DRS and not even fighting each other. Boring bastards. Olaf goes towards the inside, actually is laying off the throttle. These guys are literally working together even when the drivers behind don't even have DRS and fighting.
No risk, Olaf, stay calm, don't fight Marco.
What is Olaf going to do this time round? Marco moves towards the inside, doesn't fight him. DJ's going down the inside on Steps. That's going to be close to contact. No contact was made. Steps does give him the space, and Steps still keeps the position. Olaf is the first of Ferraris to hit, and then obviously Marco is putting on the hards, and he's coming out wheel to wheel with Bobby. And you can see how slow the Sauber driver is, but is it going to be slow enough for Spinala to get into DRS? Marco actually just waiting behind the Sauber driver. Could have easily gone down the inside, but didn't want to risk his race. But it seems like Marco is scared to make a move. He's been scared this whole race to make a move on his teammate Olaf. But I don't think it will be the same on a kick Sauber driver. Olaf, who's got a 5-second lead, but remember, he does have a 5-second penalty. And in fact, what I've also just realised is Olaf will be getting DSQ'd because he didn't serve his Q3 ban, which he had. So Marco and Spinala are currently fighting for the lead of the race. But it is Olaf who is winning on track, but will be DSQ'd. So it will be going to Marco's way in Qatar. Marco wins the Qatarian Grand Prix, and it is Spinala who is in P2. Shazad will be finishing on the podium. Fuck knows how, but he has finished on the podium in Qatar. Weaver comes home to P5, and then DJ in P6.
No, it cannot be, Ricky. Do I deserve to be out of the points? No. No, it's unacceptable. Tell them, it is unacceptable. They need to wait until the race is finished and discuss with me. No, please, ask them, please, to wait and discuss with me. Clearly the penalty is not deserved, it's too severe.
What are your thoughts on that 5-second time penalty?
Sorry, right now I cannot talk. I'm too angry, too disappointed. I just cannot say anything. I prefer to go to Stewards, get the penalty away because I don't think I deserve it, and it's the most unfair penalty I've seen in my life. So I will go first to Stewards and then come by. I just need to come to the TV pen because if I don't come, they put me another penalty.
I've always fought for winning at whatever I did. It's what drives me, what motivates me, and what excites me. Hello, everybody. My name is Lawrence Stroll, and I'm the executive chairman. I'm a car enthusiast. I enjoy driving cars, not quite as good as my son. But 5 years ago, I had the opportunity to buy a Formula One team. I'm pretty confident. They're both great drivers. We have a strong car, and I believe with my vision, with my business sense, and with my wallet, I will be able to create one of the best Formula One teams in the world. Our plan, quite honestly, this year is to have a shakeup in these so-called top 4 teams. And obviously that will upset some of the rest of the paddock. That's their problem.
Here we go, 2-3, 2-4, 2-5 red lights for the Australian Grand Prix. The lights go out and they are all crawling off the line in this full wet race, and it is not really the best of starts for Weibo. Drop down the position to Shazad, but it's the perfect start for Marco, and we saw Shazad just almost getting pushed off track there by Weibo, but Marco's got the gap already and is a 1 second clear of Weibo, as Weibo has just broke completely on the grass and sees him going very deep. As through goes Pimaralda, who goes and makes an amazing move on Weibo down the inside, outside line for the Aston Martin. Can he get the move done on Ollie? Mercedes versus Red Bull down the inside. Does go Bo, They both stay inside the track this time. Very clean racing between these two. Around the outside goes Weber, and does he keep position? Because that was incredible by the Red Bull, and still keeps P7, but now around the outside goes the Mercedes again, and that is a class move from Bo, which sees him up into P7 in this race, overtaking Weber. And now the safety car is out, and it is because of flex day. This race has now been flipped on its head as a complete whole.
Tonight, Gotham's relying on one man to save us all.
But it's not a great restart from the Ferrari at all. We're riding on board with Pimeralda. Will they be will to win into turn 1 and 2? Pimeralda looks for it. He goes down the inside. Does he get the move done, however? Around the outside now of turn 2 goes to Aston Martin. They're wheel to wheel, and Pimeralda gets the move done. Now Ollie might be able to get the Ferrari as well. Doesn't go for it, however, but the Aston Martin sends the Ferrari deep at the apex, and he moves up into P1 perfectly. As Ollie now challenging Marco for P2 in this race in a Sauber on the exit of the quickest corner on the track. Ollie gets the better exit, uses the slipstream, uses ERS, goes down the inside, and they stay, both of them, well, Marco stays on, doesn't stay on track, Ollie does, and moves up into second place. As now it's a full safety car. Okay, racing again. Marco trying to go around the outside of Ollie, as now Marco's hitting the rear of Ollie and doesn't get an exit at all. Marco's now down in P5. Shaz now has a moment in the straight as well. He's now back out into P5 as Bo is somehow now onto the podium. How on earth is Bo on the podium? All of a sudden, I have no clue. Bo does get somewhat of an exit. Now slipstream used for the Mercedes. Ollie wants the inside line. Bo trying his luck around the outside. Ollie does give Bo a squeeze, but around the outside Bo goes, and he seems to be the only driver to always hang it around the outside, as Ollie does give him a bit of a nudge and a bit of a push, as now Marco trying to test his luck again around the outside to the inside of the final corner, backs out of it. Can't get the move done. This defense from Ollie has been top class. No one's been able to get past him, and I think that is the closest anyone's been. We've seen both struggles with straight line speeds, as now Marco dives down the inside of turn 1, back into P3. We're on the final lap of the race, and Pimeralda will be a Division 1 race winner. Still trying to look for a move on Ollie. It's been basically this way, as now Marco's forced into a mistake, and Bo goes down the inside of Marco and moves up into P3 once more. This race has been covered with chaos. It's been covered with battles for P2 for the podium places since the start, as Shazad now might even get Marco as well. He's got a brilliant exit here. It can be anyone's game. It can be anyone's podium. It can be anyone's P2, as Marco has a bit of a rear locking, cannot get the move done, but it is going to Aston Martin here in round 3 Australia. It is going to be Pimeralda who wins down under, his first win in BPD1, and it comes out of nowhere. It comes as a surprise to everyone. Pimeralda wins in Melbourne. It is now going to be Ollie in P2 with the best offensive drive of all time in BP.
Against the Ferrari. And there's been contact. But Ola is under high pressure at which pace. Does he got it